We just saw Beyond the Lights, and on this show I take my friends, we go see a movie, we review it in the car, and have a discussion. The review part is spoiler-free, so if you're on the fence or trying to decide if this is a movie you want to see, check out the review part. We'll try and give you an idea of what the movie's like. If you've already seen the movie or don't care about spoilers and just want to hear everything that we thought, stick around for the discussion because we get into more details on the plot after that. Beyond the Lights is a story about sort of a pop star who is having trouble with fame and her life and not having a whole lot of control over every aspect of her life that she really wants to. She has a suicide attempt and she's saved by a police officer who they end up in a relationship together. And the movie sort of bounces around between them being together and that all being fine and them being apart, and it just kind of changes. You just never know. Like, every day she wakes up and maybe she's interested in staying with the guy and maybe she needs to get back to her career. Similarly, her mother character has kind of the same thing where it's like when the plot tells her to be on her daughter's side, she is. When the plot tells her to be against her daughter or like kind of greedy, then she is. And it really just kind of plays with, like, you always kind of feel a little bit manipulated, like, from scene to scene. It's just like, oh, we're just gonna forget that last part happened and this other thing's gonna go on. It reminded me a little bit of The Bodyguard, but just some bits here and there, kind of call back to that a little bit or seem like that a little bit. The performances are fine, and I guess as far as like, a romance with fairly good performances, and it's not a movie that I would say is bad per se or not well done. Like, it's a fairly good romance story about fairly young people. So you don't expect it to be like super deep or super interesting, but it really wasn't for me, and I really found myself being just kind of bored with it after a while. The lead actress, I think, is really good. I've seen her in some other things before, and it's well shot, it's well acted, it's well directed. It's just not a story that I really cared to see, but I wouldn't take it away from you if you enjoyed it or if you just wanted some kind of light entertainment. So, what'd you think?
Okay, well, I gotta admit, I was really looking forward to this one. The trailer made it look really good, really interesting, and it looked like she was going to give an excellent performance, which she did.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it was based around music, excellent soundtrack. Absolutely excellent soundtrack.
Yeah, it's good.
And, like I said, the performances were great. Like you said, they were great. I didn't focus so much on the direction because, it's your sappy love story. And
right.
I'm a sappy romantic, so I actually enjoyed the movie. But it was your typical sappy tropes. Damsel in distress, man comes to the rescue.
Yeah.
So that's that was pretty much the gist of it.
There's just a lot of like people just decide to be jerks and make the plot longer, and then they say they're sorry and they are sorry, and then the other one's a jerk and they say they're sorry, and like it's just sort of a revolving door of
I'll get
that's the
into it
thing.
in the spoilers.
Anyway,
section.
if you enjoyed the trailer or you thought that it looked like something that you'd enjoy, you probably will. If your date is dragging you to this movie, you'll probably have an okay time at it. It's not bad, and it doesn't insult you or anything like that. It's just, to me, I really felt like just a couple too many times through the whole ringer of of you're the one that saved me and you don't understand me. You're the one that saved me. You don't understand. Like, one too many times through that for me. So, anyway.
She just kept jumping off of things.
We'll get into the discussion part now and get into spoilers. Yeah, she had as a penchant for just kind of jumping off things.
Truth.
She, like, stage dives toward the end, and we were like, you just stop jumping off shit?
Like, he continually has to pull her back from the edge of something. It's just very strange.
And the number of times that she, like, pulls him on stage with her, pulls him into, like, a red carpet or something like that is really, like, that's obnoxious, too. It has sort of this...
Fish out of water.
It's more of, like... What bothered me about it was that it was, like... She felt like he was only important to her if everyone else saw that he was important to her, which
like
kind of goes
manufacturing her career.
Exactly. Like that kind of goes against what the rest of the movie seemed to be about. So
what killed me was the portrayal of the mother. The mother from the very beginning seems very villainous and manipulative, and then in one scene she comes to her daughter's defense. And then in the next scene, she's right back to being manipulative.
Exactly.
And then at the very end, they have this conversation, she's not even on the screen, where they're trying to make the audience feel for her again.
Right.
And I'm just like, what are you talking about? She's clearly using her daughter.
But
why would we ever be on her side?
There's 4 characters in the movie, and they do that with all of them. They make all of them the villain and all of them redeemed and all of them the villain again. Like, that cycle keeps happening. It happens with Danny Glover's character. It happens with both of the leads. And, yeah, I mean, they paint Minnie Driver as this sort of, like, on the one hand, she's kind of villainous and greedy, and on the other hand, she, like, got her kid out of poverty and got her kid, like... How she did it is not necessarily the greatest thing, but she made her daughter into a star, and she didn't like prostitute her daughter out, but she kind of did some skeezy photography stuff.
Well, not just the photography stuff; they basically pushed her into a relationship with that white rapper.
Yeah, which is kind of where her thing came from.
Prostitution.
But yeah, but she didn't like. They never made you feel like the character didn't want that. Like, even when they broke up, it was cool. It wasn't like he was trying to control her or anything like that. They were just sort of like, oh yeah, we're both using each other to get further our careers.
Well, then he clearly, went the douchebag route with it and turned it around on her.
Yeah,
because it was damaging. Not because he was just. Like, wanted to be a jerk or something. It's because the rumors going around it were damaging his career, and so he wanted to separate himself quite vehemently from her.
Yeah.
And he went about it in the worst way possible.
Yeah. Well, in that scene where she, like, refuses to do the costume change or to take off the whatever that is, the, like, overcoat thing. And then he's kind of forceful and mean about it, and... Well,
not just that, like, he noticed that she's completely staring at him the entire time when she's supposed to be singing to him. And he gets quite forceful with her, and then, says a bunch of stuff on stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Very paint-by-the-numbers movie, but it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. Great performance by the girl. I will not defame her by horribly mispronouncing her name, but she did an excellent job.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it wasn't one of my favorites, and it wasn't painful to watch, but it certainly wasn't anything to write home about. Just not really that interesting to me. But anyway, that's Beyond the Lights. If you like the way we do these reviews, like the video, subscribe, check out all the written and video reviews over at dlmaxfield.com, and thanks for watching.